Yes, good afternoon, students. So today we will discuss this electrical conditions, that is voltage and power output of the MHT generator. So first of all, MHT power generation technology is the production of the electrical power utilizing a high temperature conducting plasma moving through an intense magnetic field, right? So already we had discussed in conventional generator. In case of the conventional generator, we are having north and south pole, whether that will be due to permanent magnet or that will be due to electromagnet, and in between it we are just placing some conductor or some coil, and when that coil will rotate, some d phi by dt will be induced, and EMF induced as per the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, that is an EMF will be induced across the coil whenever there is rate of change of flux, right? So but if you compare the conventional generator with MHT generator, then the main difference between the two is, in case of MHT generator, that plasma at high temperature will be passed through the magnetic field under the influence of the electrical field, right? And then some electrodes will be placed in between that plasma at a different position, and after that whatsoever that EMF induced, that will be just collected across that electrodes. This is the basic of the MHT generator which we had discussed in the previous lecture, right? So here we want some analysis part, that how much voltage and how much power is generated in case of MHT generator. Now, in case of MHT generator analysis, let us assume that charge particle having the charge Q moving with a velocity. That means what I am saying, that let magnitude of the charge, that will be equal to Q, velocity of the charge particle, that will be equal to V dash, right? And this will be towards right. So let us say this is your plate. In between it there is a distance D. D is a distance in between the plates. Let us say this upper plate is known as P1, lower plate is known as P2, right? And across P1 we are having the positive charge polarity, across P2 we are having the negative charge polarity, and in between it, with a velocity of V dash, particle will be moving towards right, and then after that we are assuming that at the perpendicular magnetic field B will be acting, magnetic V dash will be towards right, magnetic field will be equal to B, this is perpendicular, to the direction of that velocity B dash. Magnetic field B will be acting, right? So due to this, force will comes into action. Force will be comes into action, and that force will be given by, as per the Lorentz force, BQE. F is equal to BQE, but in vector form that will be Q into V cross B. Right? Q into V cross B. Here I am taking V as a V dash. So force just acting on the charge, force acting on the charge due to effect of the magnetic field, that will be given by F is equal to Q into V dash cross B vector, right? Now, at the same time, electrical field will also occurs in the same setup, because we had already considered that under the influence of electrical field, all that will happen. Magnetic field is there, and due to influence or due to presence of the electrical field, that force will occur, right? So as per Coulomb's law, F upon Q, that will be equal to electrical field. So here F is equal to Q into E. This is the force due to electrical field, right? And therefore, one is the force due to electrical field, one is the force due to magnetic field, Q into V dash cross B, right? This is your equation number 1. This is your equation number 2. Equation 1 represent force due to magnetic field, that is generally denoted as a Lorentz force, and equation 2 is from the basics, that is from the Coulomb's law, that is due to presence of the electrical field. That means total force acting on the charge particle, that will be given by F is equal to QE plus Q into V dash cross B, right? So this Q may be taken common, so that will becomes F is equal to Q into E plus V dash cross B, right? So here this we may say that Q is generally electron. Q is generally electron. So that means Q is equal to minus E, and you may substitute its value equal to 1.602 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb. Q is generally considered to be an electron, and its value will be considered as 1 point, that is the charge on the electron, 1.602 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb. Right? Now, if the direction of B dash and B, if the direction of B dash and B are known, then we may calculate the direction of the F by the use of corkscrew rule. By the use of corkscrew rule. Right? So, first of all, if the direction of B dash and B is known to us, we will be able to calculate the direction of the force with the help of Q, that corkscrew rule. Now, in the case of MHD generator, in the case of this MHD generator, we are taking the magnitude of velocity as V dash. Right? Here in this case of MHD generator, velocity in MHD generator is given by V dash, right? So it is given by V dash. Now it will be equal to vector sum of the gas velocity U and particle drift velocity V. So V dash, that will be given by U plus V vector sum, right? So here, what is U? U is the gas velocity. U is the gas velocity, and V is the particle drift velocity. Particle drift velocity, right? So you may substitute this value of the V dash in the equation of the force, total force, right? So that equation will become, what is that equation? F is equal to QE plus Q into V dash cross B, right? So here we are substituting V dash is equal to U plus V. So your equation will become F is equal to QE plus Q into U plus V cross B, right? So if you expand this equation will become F is equal to QE plus Q into this U cross B plus Q into V cross B, right? So again, this equation, in this equation, because F is equal to Q into E plus U cross this, again this Q may be taken common, so this will be E plus U cross B plus V cross B, right? Now this equation can be written as F is equal to Q into E dash plus Q into V cross B. Fine. So here this E dash is equal to E dash is equal to E plus U cross B. Right, this first part that will be considered as E dash, that is the effective field seen by the moving particle. Right, so this is the E dash is the effective field seen by the moving particle. E dash is the effective field seen by the moving particle. Right. So the drift velocity is related to the force on the particle through the mobility mu, right? Drift velocity is related to the force on the particle through the mobility. So F is equal to QV upon mu. F is equal to QV upon mu, right? Then this equation that will become, because in one of the equation we had written like, in upper part we written like F is equal to Q into E vector plus U cross B plus V cross B, right? So both of that representing F. So here substitute this value of the F here, you will get QV upon mu is equal to Q into E plus U cross B plus V cross B, right? So Q gets cancelled out, mu will be cross multiplying on the other side, so you will get B is equal to mu into E plus U cross B plus V cross B, right? So this is the value of the V. This is the general equation. So if we confine the scalar quantity to be case as in case of F is equal to QE plus V dash across B, then that will be given by the gas flows, right? So if we confine the scalar quantities to be the case as in equation F is equal to Q into E plus V dash cross B. This is our starting equation, I think equation number 2, right? So here in the x-axis direction, in case of that coordinate axis, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, right? Ux is equal to U in case of coordinate axis, Ux is equal to U, whereas Uy is equal to Uz, that will be equal to 0, right? And second, in y-axis, right? Because gas is moving in the two direction, because we are applying that positive as the z direction, then By is equal to B, magnetic flux density, By is equal to B, whereas Bx is equal to Bz, that will be equal to 0. In case of coordinate geometry, this will happen. Then we will just replace mu B is equal to beta, right? Substitute this and also replace mu B is equal to beta. Then equation for the velocity in 3 axes, that will become Vx, Vy and Vz. This is your equation of the V. Now equation of the Vx, that will be equal to that mu x into E plus U cross Bx, right, plus V cross Bx, right? So here we know that from this part Bx is equal to 0. So you will get Bx is equal to mu x into E. Bx is equal to mu x into E. Then after that, this similar manner, Vy is equal to mu Ey right? and Vz is equal to mu Ez Vz is equal to mu Ez, then plus beta u, then plus beta Vx. So these are the different equations for the velocity, right? So from this equation, you may solve for Vx and Vz. The y terms are omitted because there will be no forces acting in the y direction. So you may that calculate that value of the Vx as well as Vy. Then after that, this value of the current density, that will be current density, that is denoted by J. So J is equal to, current density is equal to sigma V upon mu. Current density, that will be given by sigma V upon mu, where sigma is gas conductivity, sigma is gas conductivity, right? And in the similar manner, you may calculate that value of this current density in term of x-axis and z-axis, right? Then after that, when the current I is flowing across the load resistance RL, let us say this is your plates P1, P2, and here this is your load RL. When I current flowing through the load, then what will happen? This with the voltage V across the load, the electrical intensity between the plates, that will be Ez is equal to electrical intensity that will be Ez is equal to this minus V by D, right? Minus V by D, and where D is the distance between the plates, right? The total electrical field, that will become Ez dash is equal to Ez plus Bu. Total electrical field that will be equal to Ez dash, that is equal to Ez plus Bu. Ez plus Bu, right? Now Ez is equal to minus V by D, so this will be minus V by D plus Bu. Now this if we will take this 1 by D common, then this equation will become Ez dash Ez dash, that will be equal to 1 by d into, now this part positive, this will, I am writing first bud minus v, right? So bud is equal to E naught. This bud, this will be equal to E naught. So Ez dash is equal to 1 by d into E naught minus v. So if Rg is the internal resistance of the generator, MHD generator, right? If Rg, this is your generator, distance between the plates is d. So if Rg is the internal resistance of the generator, if Rg is the internal resistance of the generator, then for the maximum power transfer, Rg must be equal to RL. For P maximum, Rg must be equal to RL, generator load, that is from the maximum power transfer theorem. So Rg is equal to RL. So P maximum is equal to E naught into I. P maximum is equal to E naught into I. Now E naught is equal to I into Rg. E naught is equal to I into Rg. So P maximum, that will be equal to I into Rg into I. This will be due, in place of E naught. So your equation will become P maximum is equal to I square Rg. I square Rg. Right? Now, what is the amount of the maximum power? That is again, substitute the value of this I is equal to P maximum, that will be equal to E naught upon Rg plus RL, its whole square into Rg, right? So this is again by the use of that maximum power transfer theorem. P maximum is equal to 4 E naught square upon RL, right? So this is the RL or Rg. This is the maximum amount of the power which may be that MHD generator may be able to deliver under the condition of maximum power transfer theorem, right? So if you will just substitute that value if you will substitute that value of E in term of B, U and D, already we define E naught is equal to BUD. So your equation will become this this equation will become B square U square D square upon 4RL. So this is the amount of the maximum power in term of B, U and D. So if required, we may be able to calculate that this equation in term of D, sigma and A. In place of that Rg, I will be substitute that D upon sigma A in place of Rg or RL. We will place d upon sigma A. So your equation will become b square u square d square upon 4d into sigma A, where sigma is gas conductivity and A is area of cross section of the plates, right? So this equation will become 1 by 4 into sigma u square d square d into A. 1d gets cancelled out. So equation for the maximum power, that will become 1 by 4 sigma A d square u square into d. So this is the equation for the maximum power, right? In case of MHD generator. So this is all regarding the analysis of the MHD generator. So Seebeck effect. Let's start with the Seebeck effect. Seebeck effect is the one of the basic principle of the thermoelectrical power generation, right? So thermoelectrical generator is a device which will convert heat energy into electrical energy through semiconductor or conductor, right? Through semiconductor or conductor. The direct conversion of the heat energy into that electrical energy, that will be considered as a direct energy conversion method, right? So in case of this Seebeck effect, let us say this is your metal A and this is your metal B, right? Here this one end, this will be kept at a cold junction. Let us suppose this is your junction A, this is your junction B. One end is kept as a cold junction and another end is kept as a hot junction. And depending upon the temperature difference, between the two, an electromotive force or EMF or voltage that will be generated across the two ends of this combination, right? So value of the thermo EMF or voltage V, that will be given by V is equal to alpha S 1 to 2 into delta T, where delta T is the change in temperature or difference between the temperature of cold and hot junction, right? And alpha S1 to 2, that is the Seebeck coefficient. Alpha S1 to 2, that is the Seebeck coefficient, right? And this will be dependent upon temperature, right? This will be dependent upon temperature, so that for larger temperature difference, it is if we are having a larger temperature difference, then this maybe more, this equation will gives you more accurate result if I will integrate this within the temperature T1 to T2. If I will integrate this equation within the temperature T1 to T2, then this will gives you more efficient result where T1 is the temperature of the cold junction and T2 is the temperature of the hot junction, right? So by using this equation, you will be able to calculate thermo EMF generated due to Seebeck effect. Although the EMF generated with the help of such effect that is very small in magnitude. So to increase the voltage level, we will connect more number of such combination in series with each other to obtain the required voltage, right? Yes, please. So whenever we are talking about solar cell is the cell which will use to convert that solar radiation used to convert solar radiation into electrical energy. Solar radiations into electrical energy, right? So this is also known as photovoltaic cell. Photovoltaic cell or solar cell are the same thing, right? So whenever we are talking about solar cell or PV cell, this will be the same. So what will happen? These PV cells are manufactured with the help of some semiconductor material, that is a p-n junction. This is a special type of the p and n type material which may be used for the manufacturing of solar cell or photovoltaic cell. So this is another technique for conversion of that direct energy conversion, because in this case no intermediate state is there. We will be able to convert this solar energy directly into electrical energy, right? And one thing, this method is very much useful nowadays, because if you will see around you, we are having a number of this solar panel are just set up. So there may be different types of the solar cell. One is flat plate, another is concentrating type, right? Basically, what will happen? This EMF generated from the solar cell is unidirectional, that is DC. EMF generated from the solar cell is unidirectional, that means it may be stored with the help of some battery. That means by charging some battery, we will be able to store some electrical potential for some time, right? And if we want this solar cell to be utilized for our home appliances, then this may be firstly converted into AC with the help of inverter, right? Again, sorry, in inverter, we are just using some basic semiconductor devices to convert DC into AC, right? And then after that, that AC may be utilized. That AC may be utilized to just check that operate the any of the our home appliances, right? And then after that, this output of the solar cell is very small. Output of the solar cell is very small, right? So that means we are not able to operate our home appliances only with the help of one photovoltaic cell or solar cell. So if we want to increase, our voltage, number of photovoltaic cell or solar cell are connected in series with each other, right? If number of solar cell are connected in series with each other, then this will be voltage capacity of the string that will increase, and we will be able to utilize this combination for operating any of this load or home appliances, right? So this is the end of the lecture, right? Thank you.